Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are rocking with Jay Riggins, the author of the book, What a Man Really Wants to Say About Relationships, Revised and Unapologetic. And this is the official trailer of the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast, brought to you by the good folks at the Podpire Network. What is the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast, you ask? Well, thanks for asking, Jay. Just imagine being straightforward all the time with your relationship conversations. And there is nothing you can't talk about because it might seem weird, or people might not agree, or they'll hold back for the sake of being judged. We don't care about any of that in this podcast. In this podcast, we will talk about what most humans talk about behind each other's backs. On the girls' trips, the barber shops, beauty salons, at the barbecue after you done drunk some of Uncle Sterling's moonshine. And at that point, you really don't care what people think because you're no longer using your inside gossip voice anyway. Please tune into the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast every other Saturday because we will be talking about some real shit.
The following podcast is a production of the Podpire Network. Find and listen to our podcasts at thepodpirenetwork.com or wherever you enjoy your podcast. The Podpire Network, a family of inspired podcasts.
Sibel, you want to lead us into this one with a good smattering of Arabic singing?
You've been over this. It's not Arabic.
We talked about this.
We talked about
You signed the contract. Come on, dude. It's showtime.
Yeah, for the record, dear listeners, that is not Arabic at all. That is a terrible classical Indian style. But I just randomly did.
The reverb.
He was like, that's how we're starting this episode. And I'm like, that's not Arabic. He's like, close enough.
The reverb that I'm gonna put on that in the edit. Oh my goodness, it's gonna sound chef's kiss. Trust me.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Bibi, I seem to have had a bad influence on you.
No, I said it. I said it just before we hit record.
Season.
I said my friendship with you has slowly but surely started to turn into a liability. And to which you retorted, you warned me from the beginning, right? Is what you said.
Yeah, it was our first conversation where I said that I should tell you that I have an unorthodox sense of humor. I didn't ever presume that it would somehow bleed over and you'd begin to take it.
Right.
Because you're starting to keep up, Bibi.
No,
you're gonna give me a run for my money.
No. I just want you to be your best self. That's it. I want you to be free to be who you really are around me. That's it. That's what the best friends do, right? That's yeah. Anyway, welcome one and all to another episode of Harebrained Schemes, the podcast where we talk about some of the most ill-conceived adventures and ventures in all of history. Some of them fail, some of them work, but they're almost always hilarious. As always, my name is Bibi, and my co-host is over there acting innocent.
I am Sibel Mufti.
Okay, that's how we're going this episode. All right.
I mean, hey man, we're gonna play the part. I'm here for a reason.
Okay.
I've learned to be very picky about who I share my jokes with. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I know you don't believe it, but I do.
Yeah.
But there are reasons why I will call you.
Of what you just said.
No, but there are reasons why I call you when I have a certain joke, right? Because I'm just like, if I start just saying this to anyone, I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
Yeah, and just so the listeners know, I never invited any of these calls, and I've never done anything to indicate that I welcome any of these calls. But he calls me. He calls me anyway, regardless, with no consideration for how I may feel about it. He just calls me. Yeah. So this is what we're dealing with. Anyway, today we're talking about a certain Anthony Gignac or Gignac. I think it's Gignac, but stuff that I've watched.
French, but here's a question for you, bud. Is he getting his name from his adopted family, or is that his name from his birth family?
I honestly have no idea. But yeah, no, Anthony
It looks
Gignac,
very French.
Yeah. So also known as Prince Khalid bin Al Saud. Right.
Yes.
How did I do on that one?
Hey man, it sounds great to me.
Was it chef's kiss? Okay.
Hey man, for the listeners, I'm Pakistani. I'm not Arab. I just grew up in Dubai. So
right.
Yeah. I can phonetically read Arabic very badly.
Oh, pretty cool. Cool.
I mean, every Muslim, it's like, every Muslim reads the Quran growing up. So you all learn Arabic.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Prince Khalid bin Al Saud.
All right. Okay, so we're going to dive a little bit further into that when we come back from this ad break. It's Harebrained Schemes. Don't go nowhere. And we are back. Thank you for listening to those ads. So let's dive right in. For this one, we are leaning very much on a CNBC.com article titled "How a Fake Saudi Prince Conned Investors Out of Nearly $8 Million." Okay, and also we're going to be looking at a Vanity Fair article titled "How the Fake Saudi Prince Anthony Gignac Was Exposed." So, let's go to this article from CNBC.com. And it says, in 2017, a man claiming to be a member of the ultra-wealthy Saudi royal family named Prince Khalid bin Al Saud entered into talks with real estate developers to make a $400 million investment in an iconic luxury hotel on Miami Beach. Okay, all right. He certainly looked the part of rich royalty. For starters, the prince lived in the penthouse condo of a luxury high-rise. He claimed to own the whole building on Fisher Island. Now, this is an exclusive private island that is just off the coast of Miami. It is arguably the wealthiest section of land in all of the U.S., right? The richest zip code in the U.S. with an average family income of $2.5 million as of 2015. Dude, now if you're gonna make a splash,
ain't no plebeians there, man.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a splash and show that you are who you say you are, that is the place to do it. Yeah, man. So, Khalid regularly drove around the luxury enclave in a 2016 Ferrari California, which cost about $200,000 at the time, sporting diplomatic license plates and a security detail. Now, just so you know, these license plates, bro, guess where he got them? Just guess. Just guess. Just guess.
Diplomatic license plates aren't easy to get, man.
He got them off of eBay. eBay, bro. eBay.
No.
For $79. We have dropped the ball so hard. We could have been rolling around here, just zipping through red lights.
Speed limits don't apply to us.
Yeah. For $79, for the low price of $79, we too could be Prince Khalid. Oh my goodness.
We could park anywhere. No tickets, man. No tickets.
We could park in front of a hospital. We could block the ambulance entrance to the hospital and nothing. Because we are Prince Khalid. Geez,
Prince Khalid.
Yeah.
I am Prince Khalid. Oh my God. He rode around in other luxury from a Bentley to a Rolls Royce. Very nice.
Man. Yeah. While traveling on yachts and private jets. Yeah. Now, for a dude who was conning, he knew that a big part of the con was the image. And how do you get the word out about yourself? A new prince manufactured out of thin air. You want to leave a, referenceable trail of your identity. So dude was very, very deep into the gram, bro. Like he documented Insta greasy, baby. He was on there every day, just, flashy photo after flashy photo.
I don't understand that because he's not from Dubai.
So anyone with even a little bit of, regional context of that part of the world would know that the UAE is not the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In many respects, is really not the kingdom of Saudi Arabia because, very different lifestyles. But hey, Prince Dubai, it worked anyway. So, he made sure to document his fabulous lifestyle on social media, posting photos on Instagram showing off his luxury vehicles. Again, this is from CNBC.com. Diamonds encrusted jewelry, Rolex watches. Now, what I found out from this and from watching an episode of The Con on I believe ABC, where they talked about this dude would buy the cheapest Rolex watches. Right. Yeah. Sorry. So he would buy the cheapest Rolex watches and then have them encrusted with fake diamonds, so they would look but it's a Rolex, right? But it's a Rolex enough, but then it's elevated and you go like, ooh, this is a custom made Rolex. You feel me, bro? Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. But so
here's what I just remembered about the Dubai thing was that because Dubai had such a different lifestyle compared to a lot of the rest of the Gulf countries in the Middle East.
Yeah.
A lot of the wealthy families and royalty from other Gulf countries did sometimes end up living in Dubai. So I remember there was at least one guy at our school whose father was like a prince of one of the other Gulf countries and things like that. So it was not uncommon.
Right.
So I guess that could make some sense.
So that could sort of answer why he would choose Prince Dubai _07. Right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but, he owned a bunch of things. But the thing that really, really just, drove home the fact that this was a wealthy dude. This was a dude that had money. Was the fact that he walked everywhere. He went everywhere with his chihuahua in a Louis Vuitton carry bag. Now that is baller, bro. That is baller. And guess what the chihuahua was called? Guess what the chihuahua's name was?
I don't want. Oh man, I don't. No.
Foxy.
this is my chihuahua.
Yeah.
Foxy, where are you?
Sit. Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah. So lots and lots. Even Foxy had her own Insta-greasy page, bro.
Oh man, this guy was deep in the Insta-grease.
Yeah.
Yo, serious question.
Yeah, man.
What accent was this guy doing? Because
I don't know.
So you are fine. You're pretending to be Arab royal.
Perhaps British, because a lot of, royal people did go to school in England, right? So they came off with British accents. Right. So maybe we're doing him.
But then how is he, did he speak Arabic? Because he must have run into Arabs.
Something that I read once said, but this was not from an Arab person, but it was from an American person who said they once saw him scribble something down on a notepad that looked convincingly Arabic. Now, whether or not it was actually Arabic, and that could mean anything because most of us, you see something that does not look like Roman numerals. It's, ooh, that's authentic. We want to, so yeah, it could have been just a bunch of nonsense, man. Yeah. It could have been calligraphy yeah.
Dude, it's hard. Yeah. The thing that's weird about it is no matter what you do in these cosmopolitan cities like Miami, New York, especially Dubai, which I think he visited,
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna run into Arabic speakers, and Arabic speakers are not shy at all about using Arabic. Like, they, in my experience at least, will quite quickly jump into it, at least to like talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
So how is he avoiding that?
Yeah.
No. Braza. It's business meeting. We conduct business in English, right? Don't be disrespectful to the other guest, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
So someone tries to talk to him in Arabic, and he says, no, braza. Right? And then he says, we can't talk in Arabic because we have other people here. Anyway, so where did Anthony come from? Where did Prince Khalid come from? Right? He was originally born in Colombia and moved to Michigan at the age of 6 when he was adopted with his brother by a middle-class couple. Right? Other investigation did say that he had been living in the streets.
Kid.
Yep.
He's a Hispanic Midwest kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd lived in an orphanage. He'd lived in the streets. He'd had a really brutal upbringing before he was adopted. And some posit that this was what led him to try so hard to reinvent himself in the least expected way. So it wasn't enough for him to just distance himself from his Colombian roots, where which he probably associates with suffering and poverty, but he wanted to be so far removed from that, something completely different, something that you wouldn't see coming. And so enter Prince Khalid, who, for all intents and purposes, was a member of the Saudi royal family. What do you think? Yeah. Pretty good metamorphosis there.
I mean, I think it's fascinating. I think you've got the right idea, which makes sense. Is that like, hey, what's the furthest I can get from being a poor South American? I could be a wealthy Arab.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And you go all in. You're not just a wealthy Arab. You are the son of the king. Yeah, exactly.
We're the wealthiest Arab.
Exactly.
The absolute wealthiest.
Yeah. So, tracing back, this dude had been running cons since the 1900s. Yeah, I was going to say since the 1900s, since the 1990s.
The 1900s.
Yeah.
For more than a century.
Technically, it was the 1900s, but, more specifically, the 1990s. Yeah. He had done a bunch of things. He'd been arrested a bunch of times by the, police in Los Angeles. Yeah, by the police in Los Angeles. He'd done prison time. And every time he would con people, he would come right back out. One of his earliest cons was saying that he was Prince Khashoggi, and that worked for him.
Recent fame.
Yeah,
I'm assuming. Is it the same family?
Well, no. So this was a known arms dealer, Prince Adnan Khashoggi, using the name of a billionaire Saudi arms dealer, back back when he was a teenager, right? So actually, I take that back. So it says starting in 1988, Gignac was arrested and convicted 11 times for schemes where he was impersonating a prince or other Middle Eastern royalty, according to the U.S. Justice Department. Right? After leaving his adoptive family in Michigan as a teenager, Gignac began using stolen credit cards to cruise around Detroit in limousines while trying to pass himself off as Prince Adnan Khashoggi, using the name of a billionaire Saudi arms dealer, according to Vanity Fair. So, yep, he's done some stuff. Gignac eventually took his act to California.
Just refining that.
Yeah. He eventually took his act to California, where in 1991, the Los Angeles Times dubbed him the Prince of Fraud after the then 21-year-old racked up nearly $3,500 in room and food bills at the Regent Beverly Wilshire Hotel, along with another $7,500 in limousine charges and more fraudulent purchases of Louis Vuitton luggage from Rodeo Drive shops. Right? Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Gignac had promised that his wealthy family would pay off his debts, even convincing the hotel's employees to refer to him as Your Highness. But he was eventually arrested. He was eventually arrested and sentenced to 2 years in prison. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Man.
Yeah.
We need to do that. We need to go to a hotel and convince them to refer to us as Your Highness every time we walk in.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That would work.
Yeah.
I love the story of how, and maybe we'll get to this a little later, how that Aspen Hotel became suspicious of him.
Yep.
Because he ordered prosciutto.
Yeah.
Usually I don't eat pig, swine, but
I don't eat the swine. The meat.
But I've heard good things. I've heard good things about this chef. 10-star Michelin chef. I will try. For you, I will try.
Right. So yeah. So anyway, they got suspicious, and they started to do background checks. Swinging over to the Vanity Fair article, it said that one time when they were super close to figuring out that he was a con artist, this was people, around the billionaire Jeffrey Sofer, who he was trying to con out of 30% of the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach for $440 million. He started to throw a tantrum. And so when, he found out they were doing a background check on him, he lost it in the lobby of the hotel, screaming,
"This is not how you do business. It's not how you do business with royalty. Here's not how you treat royalty."
Right? It's crazy. And so they made a show of calming him down. They said he was screaming,
"You have insulted my honor. My father, the king, is going to be very upset. This is not how you do business with royalty."
And I love how they point out that, like, one of the reasons his cons were so successful is that
audacious,
that people were like, if this person is not real, they would not bring so much attention to themselves in public.
Yeah.
But he basically was
he did the opposite. Yeah.
He did the opposite.
Yeah.
You will know that I am here. You will call me Your Highness.
You will know I am here. You will call me Your Highness. And if you insult me, I will scream in the lobby.
Yeah.
Habibi, last warning. Call me Your Highness.
Right? Right. God. Yeah. So, so essentially, he got, flagged by that, and so they calmed him down, right? In this instance. And then he sent his assistants over, a British lady, over to say, this deal is going to fall through. You have insulted the prince's honor. Here is how you need to get back in business with him. He's requesting a gift. And they go, what do you mean a gift? And then she said, it has to be at least $50,000. Right?
Jeez.
Yeah.
And this is after this guy has given the chihuahua a diamond encrusted
bracelet, all kinds of things.
Alrighty, and we'll hear more about that right after we come back from a few ads. Thanks for listening to those, and we're back now.
So, what was the biggest scam that he had going at the end? He was saying that because he was a member of the Saudi royal family, he owned 10% of Saudi Aramco, and anyone who knows Saudi Aramco knows that it went public at $1.8 or $1.9 trillion. Yep, making it the most valuable publicly traded company in the world. And he was saying, look,
get in with me now, Habibi, and I will give you discounted rate. And when we go public,
right, you get all kinds of rewards for that. Right. So that was this con, and he conned rich people who were withdrawing their life savings, liquidating their life insurance and giving that to him. He conned a lot of people. Right. Terrible. And this dude walked around with bodyguards and people who he claimed were from the Department of Diplomatic Secret Service.
Secret Service. Security Service, buddy. Double check.
Security Service? Okay. So the Diplomatic Security...
And here's the background.
Yeah.
The Diplomatic Security Service may sound genteel. So I'm quoting Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's an elite team of highly trained agents responsible for protecting the Secretary of State and U.S. diplomats around the world.
Right.
They're trained just like FBI agents with paramilitary training on top. They're the best of the best.
They are the best of the best.
The best of the best. And they are a much lesser known agency. Very few people know about them. I've never heard of them.
Because they move in silence. Yeah, they move in silence. Yeah. Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. That was from Prophet Lil Wayne there. The Prophet Lil Wayne, or the seer. The seer.
Trump supporter Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, yeah. Anyway, he had fake lapels and badges made for his DSS people that the actual DSS folks were like, damn, this is better than what we got. Right?
My favorite is when they were at the building and some little kid walks up to them and is like, are you part of the Diplomatic Security Service? And they were like, what?
How do you know
How
that?
do you know this? And they're like, there's some agents of yours on the top floor.
Yeah. It says the prince always has DSS agents. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah. So that's just crazy. So, he ran this con, and he would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for just
for them pesky kids.
Yeah, for them pesky kids. But no, he did a very convincing con run in Miami. He was eventually arrested at JFK. And yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. You got to read about this guy. Right. He is currently in prison.
Fascinating.
And it is said that he is currently running the prison.
For what, like his 20th time?
So now he's in prison for 18 years. So not the shorter sentences that he's been getting his whole life. This is real time. I mean, 18 years. That's a full grown human. Right. So he's going to be in there for some time. But it is said that he's already conning the people in the prison, telling them that he is someone different than he is, and that once he gets out, if you do me this favor, I'll make sure you're taken care of on the outside. I'll make sure your family's taken. He has nothing, by the way. He has no money. He's not anybody with money, but he is effectively conning people in jail right now.
Can't stop, won't stop, baby.
Can't stop.
Bad boy for life.
Can't stop. Won't
this guy's
stop.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like I mean he's just it's who he is.
He once told people that he had a security chip in his neck that the DSS agents assigned to him would use to always track where he was, so that at any given time he could summon for help. He told people that. That is ridiculous.
And, and he would take cryptic phone calls and in front of people and be like Zulu Echo Red 33.
Yeah.
And be like, sorry, that was the State Department just making sure I'm okay.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But frankly, like if I look at pictures of him, I'm like, that just doesn't he doesn't look the part.
But that shows you how blind people are, right? You can pray. You can pray. You can prey on people's ignorance of certain parts of the world, right? Effectively, right? Because to someone local to those regions, they'll take one look at him and be like, "No, no, right? You're not who you're saying you are." But to other people who
wealthy people, huh?
Yeah. To other people who have not shown any interest in learning about other parts of the world, anyone can come out of the woodwork and say, "I am Prince Khalid," right? And they would go like, "Oh, your Royal Highness," right? So that's it. So ignorance, my guys, is
in such a connected world. That's still possible. But I guess that's
it did say that he
reality.
faked a bunch of documents. He faked a bunch of letterheaded documents of law firms and family crests and all kinds of things to buttress his story.
And he somehow managed to use the tab at that the department store Neiman Marcus of one of the actual Saudi princes, and no one knows how he got out. How he got that
he once got
that Neiman Marcus.
He once got a financial institution to issue him a platinum credit card with a
American
limit
Express
with $200 million. Dude.
Yeah, the American Express. He convinced American Express to. Jeez.
Thank you for listening. This has been Harebrained Schemes. We are Harebrained Schemes. We are on Instagram as Harebrained Schemes Pod. You can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts. And we will be back next Friday with another episode. Thank you, and don't be crappy.
Don't be crappy. Yeah. And to everyone, thank you for coming back for our second season.
Yeah, man.
We're so grateful for you to be around.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.